There is a fifth dimension.
A dimension of sound.
Damn it, Frank! We tell him to be quiet. I spilled my hot cup of Uranus again.
A dimension of sight.
Hey, Arch. I'm gonna sock you in the puss.
A dimension of mind.
Nan Adams, is that you?
Next stop, the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, I'm tired. Let's do this thing.
Woohoo!
He's like, fuck it, let's do it. All right. Welcome, guys, to the Fifth Dimension, a poop deck podcast. With
Idle
me and my
hands
two
on a poop
seamen.
deck.
Seaman.
Idle hands. The Idle Hands on a Poop Deck podcast. With my two seamen, Trev and Jacob.
Woohoo!
Coming back
Seaman.
after a week off. Not because of the snow.
Sorry.
Not because of the snow,
was,
people.
That was misinformation on my part. I do apologize. I assumed.
Because of a Transformer. Because of a Transformer named Optimus
Robots
Prime.
in disguise.
They're just battling outside my house. Yeah.
I mean, it is Florida.
Sure.
It is.
We know what it was.
I was
that fucking episode.
We were editing. I was editing the podcast today as we were recording, and I'm sitting here going, "Damn it! I should have been on that episode." Explained what happened, but yeah. When your electric goes out, you can't really do much about it.
Yeah.
Right. You guys did good though.
Aw,
You guys-
thanks. Ah, shucks.
Yeah. Although I had to chop off about 5 minutes at the end because you guys went on for like 12 minutes about whatever the hell you were talking about. I was like, what the? So I had part of it to the end. Like Jacob's like, yeah, you're probably going to put this at the end. I'm like, yeah, I put it at the end. So
Yay.
Jacob knows me too well.
Yeah,
No,
we were
on that
going on
note-
and on about semen and poop decks and
Penis stretchers and
Yeah.
just whatever.
Yeah.
We just let it loose.
It was.
yeah. We let our
You
semen
definitely
fly.
let it loose.
So on that
I told
note,
Trim, I
having-
said, you guys don't even need me anymore.
"Oh, that's
Yeah,
bullshit."
you guys did good by yourself.
Aw, thanks,
great.
Dad.
You're welcome,
He
son.
really likes us.
Yay! So on that note, what did you think
yeah.
of Sounds and Silences?
Jacob apparently doesn't know me very well because I actually enjoyed the episode. I think
Oh
he
my
guys put
God,
it way
I
too
knew
low.
it.
He said that. He said that you would probably enjoy it. Though
No,
from
no,
what
he said
can't
the
figure
reason I
out
wasn't
how.
on because I probably hated it.
Mm.
No, actually, Jacob was very explicit about saying that the reason I wasn't coming on is because I probably hated it. I'm like, no, my son of a bitch. I don't think. I don't think it was like the greatest episode ever, but I definitely wouldn't have put it at
Definitely wasn't.
145.
No,
I probably put it like 105 or whatever. I don't know why you guys hated it so much. It was
Hold on,
fine.
105. Hold
it
on.
was all over the goddamn room.
In what way? I think you guys are crazy.
You think that
I probably
this
would
is
have put
better
it
than-
mute. Yes.
No. Queen of Denial. Last Rites of Jeff Myrtlebank. You like that one? Wait, is that the
No,
one?
I
you like?
didn't like that one.
No, that's not the one. I was thinking of the one with death and the guy who's an actor.
Oh, the escape clause.
No, the one where he's like a Western actor.
Oh, Lance McGrew. No,
yeah,
not
that's
Lance.
what I was thinking.
Was it Lance
It's
McGrew?
McGrew.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
something
Yeah.
like that.
But we're
No,
talking about
there's
100,
so
like
many.
105, not a 5. I mean,
I
it's
shot an
Still.
arrow
I mean-
in this. The passerby is maybe not better. Than
I just like how it went, like how his ego got the best of him, and he got what he deserves. I like that. I like that kind of stuff.
Honestly, I can't
Did he
remember
though?
because that episode just like seeped out of my fucking ears by this point. But I remember I didn't like it.
Yeah, you're pretty explicit about not liking it. You're like, I don't even remember half the shit it went on because you watched it at your kitchen counter or whatever.
It was terrible. No, that's not why. Because it was just so bad. My mind,
Like-
my brain actively denied it.
Yeah.
It said, I have to eject this from your mind to keep you healthy and mentally stable.
Yay.
I'm just surprised because like we talked about some really bad episodes, like Black Leather Jackets and I Dream of Jeannie and The Jungle. I'm surprised you hated this worse than The Jungle. That shocked me.
Well, the jungle
That,
at
like,
least
really
had
shocked me.
something going. I'm
something
with
to talk
Jake
about
on
with
this
it.
one. It was so all over the board, like nothing connected. It was just I was unimpressed on every level.
Yeah, it was.
You just don't like
Nothing.
yelling. Admit it.
I'm
You
not a
don't
yeller
like-
by nature, but
It wasn't as bad as Trouble with Templeton.
Apparently.
But it was bad.
It wasn't it wasn't as bad as Static either, apparently. So.
Static is the epitome of boredom. Like it is
Yeah.
ambient on celluloid. Cinematic ambient, I think is what they call it.
That'd be a good YouTube channel
I
name.
wonder
Yeah.
ambient boredom on ambient.
Yeah, cinema on ambient.
Cinematic ambient. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Welcome
wonder
back,
what would have
everybody.
happened.
I'm Cinematic ambient. Let's chill the fuck out and talk about some movies.
Woo! You want movies that'll put you to sleep, boy? Have we got the thing for you?
Right, right.
My new YouTube channel. It's coming soon. Hi.
But yes, this is a podcast about Severance and every moment of Severance. And Jacob, how far have you gotten in Severance? I
Like
needed to ask
episode
you.
3.
Oh,
Not far, but I do
yeah, you
really
need to
like
watch
it.
it. Like,
Oh, yeah, we talked about that last week, didn't we? Well, me and Trev did.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're like Nick texts me like every day about why haven't you watched Severance? Why haven't you watched Severance?
Yeah, and I mean,
So good.
it is. It's a really good. What I've seen so far is really good. I really look forward to. I'm watching it with my wife, and like I've been working late the past week, so like every time I look at it, I'm
wonder
like,
why.
"Ooh, I'm gonna watch Severance," and I'm like, she'll get mad at me if I watch it without her. So I'll
Well,
probably.
I
watch
will
it tomorrow.
say, the craziness you see now, it gets crazier. So
Hooray!
way crazier. To your point, you're going like, what the fuck is happening? But it's great. Oh man, yes, away from the Twilight Zone because I hated that episode. I did it on purpose, people. I did it on purpose. The conspiracy theorist is alive.
I
Well, as
knew
long as
he
you're
was gonna come on
consistent.
here though and be like, I liked it.
Well, you know, Jake, how you're normally the guy that's kind of like the guy that has to go his own route, rock the boat and stuff.
Mhm.
That was Nick this past week.
Okay.
Right.
What was it? Oh,
Um,
contrarian. Yeah, contrarian.
Contrarian.
That's a term.
I'm a contrarian. Oh my.
No, not in a bad way.
Oh,
I will say I do appreciate you guys keeping it to an hour because that means I only had to edit like 5 minutes of the podcast. No, I'm kidding.
Dude, the fact that we got that much
oh,
out of
yeah.
it is frankly pretty incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, no matter of speaking.
Well, I mean, when you hate something so much, apparently you can talk for hours or hour.
We talked about penis stretchers and semen on
Yes.
people most of the time. In a matter of speaking.
Oh, and went off on a huge tangent about what was the guy's last name? Giver.
Oh, Giver.
McGiver. Yeah, McGiver or
McGiver.
Oh yeah, and his 10 children.
Yeah.
His 10 children.
He really liked semen.
Been given a
Yeah,
well, his
apparently.
wife did.
Oh my god. Shouldn't they change their name to McSeaman?
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, I like the episode. Like I said, it's not perfect or any way, but I enjoyed it. That
What was it
remains
about
to
it
be
that
seen,
you
though.
enjoyed? I am curious.
Yes. I mean, what
I
Like, what was
enjoyed
it?
the aspect of like guy is such a dick and he treats his people like assholes, and the nature of like how be careful what you wish. I always like stories about be careful what you wish for because he wants everything loud, so he gets everything loud. So then he wants everything to be quiet, so he gets everything quiet, and he gets what he deserves. Like that's what the story boils down to. It's this guy's a sexist, he's a misogynist, and he gets what he deserves when he wants he gets what he wants, but what he wants is not what he was expecting. And I like that kind of stuff. I like how I don't even remember what his name is. John McGiver. I like him as an actor.
He's a good actor.
I don't know.
Everybody did
Yeah,
well
yeah.
in it. I think we said that. Except for the writer. He didn't do
Yeah.
good.
Oh, so this
Rod
is
Serling.
random, but on that note, I was looking through the companion, and it got talking about how with the guy that directed this episode specifically, William Fong of his episodes, he had a lot of new people that wrote underneath him. And of the 6 episodes written by newcomers, there was kind of a disconnect between them and what the Twilight Zone kind of was. So like there's that formula of how like if there's someone that's like a good person, they'll ultimately get a good ending, where if they're a little shit, they'll get like their comeuppance at the end. Of these, there's a feeling of things gone tilt, consequences are often unfairly meted out, rather than a cosmos in which every action brings about an equal reaction. This is a universe ruled by chaos. So there was kind of a misunderstanding about what the Twilight Zone was for a lot of the newcomer writers, which I thought was interesting. And that's a lot of these episodes.
That's as Jacob alluded to last week. It's exhaustion. Rod Serling doesn't have creative control on his TV series anymore, so he he probably just came in and he's like, this sounds like a good episode, and give me what you have, and maybe I'll rewrite it because I guarantee you some of these episodes that he wrote that are he's attributed to writing, I guarantee you 100% he had someone helping him because he had burned himself out by now from everything he had done, and it shows. Like it's funny when you watch a writer or director of a series that is popular like this. There's a point where they just kind of step back aside and let everybody else take over, and Rod Serling wasn't doing that. So he may have written the episode, but I guarantee you he had help writing it.
Oh
That's
yeah.
just kind of how it looks to me. So I
Well,
don't
this
know.
one has
I don't know.
this one has the distinction of being the only episode written by a woman.
Interesting.
Yeah,
The
it was
original?
what now?
The
Yeah, the
original?
original.
Oh, the
The
one we're
original.
watching now. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was the
Um,
secretary of the producer of the second half of the final season.
should have
So.
changed the episode to called Wooden Dick. Now, with that said, I think this episode is worse than last week's episode. So that's how I feel. Um, yeah, this is an episode that we're going to talk about where they've done this episode already in some form or respect. It's season 5, episode 28, Caesar and Me, directed by Robert Butler, written by Adele T. Stafford, production code 2836, aired April 10th, 1964. Stars Perry White, Morgan Brittany, Sarah Shelby, and Stafford Repp.
Well, the guy played Perry White. It was his name was Jackie Cooper.
Yeah, I was gonna say Perry White.
That's a
Isn't
jump
that from
trip.
Superman?
Yeah,
That was
he played
Oh my
Superman in
God.
the 78
not Superman. He played
Or no, Perry White, yeah.
Perry
He-
White,
but in the 78 Superman.
the guy who was
I'm gone for a
the guy
weekend.
who
Nobody
was,
gets my jokes. Son
like
of a
the
bitch.
whatever. Oh, are we over explaining
Oh, sorry.
over our heads?
No, I was seeing how long it would take for you guys to realize I was saying Jackie Cooper was Perry White. See, this is what
I
happens. This is
heard
why
that,
you
and
guys
I was
need
like,
to
is
do this
that his
podcast without me.
I was like, is there somebody named Perry White? I mean, I guess that's not like a crazy name, maybe.
Well, I mean,
Anyway.
there is a character named Percival Smithers, so there you go.
His front
Percival
name.
Smithers.
Percival Smithers. Hate my front name.
Yeah, it stars Jackie Cooper, who's known for playing Perry White as well as Dink in The Champ. Should has like turned his name into Dink. Dink, dink,
Dink?
dink, dink.
Ding ding. Ding 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 ding.
He was also starred in the Rockford Files.
Oh,
And,
nice.
yeah, Jackie Cooper. Good old Jackie Cooper starring in an episode of an episode that I've seen before in the Twilight Zone. Talk about problems with the Twilight Zone. Guys, help me out here. Is this episode good? I don't think it is.
Well, we'll say like when it comes to the possessed or puppets generally, there's so many instances of it even before this. Like it's
The
I
dummy?
I would say even with like the dummy at that point. I mean, there was, two, like I was looking at Wikipedia and it was listing off all the other instances of like where the dummy is kind of center stage. There's a movie from 1945, there's a film from 1929, and obviously it's like any trope. You're going to have reoccurrences of monsters and everything else, but I think that there's only so much you can do with a ventriloquist dummy, and especially to have it show up multiple times in a single show, not that far apart. I don't know. Like you've only got 2 years between this and the dummy.
I don't know. I feel like they kind of robbed it of something. I think if it was a bit more ambiguous by the end, like as to whether it was actually alive or not, that would have been more interesting. Because it did kind of go back and forth. Like, oh, is it alive? I think it is alive. It's showing it, but are we seeing it from his point of view? Because no one else has seen it. So I wish they had done that.
I don't know how I feel about this
Yeah,
one. I was kind of, I
I
don't
didn't
know.
love it.
No, I like,
I don't despise it, but it's just not very good.
yeah, like almost the vendetta by the little girl. And I know with Twilight Zone, you either get like the most adorable kids, or kids are just complete and utter little
I did not
shits.
like that kid.
Oh no, absolutely. It's weird though.
Dude.
She was like the unaccredited little girl in Nightmare as a Child.
She was
Like-
the girl from Nightmare as a Child?
Yeah.
Well,
she was also in that what was the Valley of the Shadow episode.
Yeah, she was.
I
Where
didn't
the
like her
guy
here.
goes into the town and like they can create all the stuff and it's like
Yeah,
perfect or utopia-ish.
I didn't like her character. She was just beyond bratty. She was vindictive. She was
Why does
shitty.
she have one? Okay, why does she have poison darts, and why does she have a ring on her finger?
Well, they're not real poison darts.
Like,
And why does she have such a hate boner for this guy?
That's the thing, like the hate doesn't, and not to say that kids can't like have strong emotions, but yeah, it was the hate that a jilted lover would have. And I'm
Yeah, like
not
he had done something.
suggesting,
I never got that he did anything to her.
yeah. To put it mildly, she's just kind of a bitch.
Yeah, because
Maybe
most
like a
kids
spoiled kid.
dislike you because you did something to them,
Right.
usually. And it seemed like he was a fairly nice guy. Like even when she said like shitty stuff to him about his money and stuff, he was just like, "It's okay, it's okay." I was like, "No, it's not. She's being a little ass." It's like you might want to count that money again, make sure it's real. You ain't gonna get no job, you, you scrub piece of shit.
maybe
I
it's
thought,
his
Really,
like
she was an asshole.
maybe it's his illegitimate kid, and she knows it.
oh God. Maybe
My
she
God.
killed her
I
parents and
mean,
she was gonna go live with her aunt and she was, a bad seed.
She's Esther from The Orphan.
Yeah. She looked like it kinda. That explained the ring.
oh my god.
Mm.
Yeah, sure, sure. I love how they use the same exact dummy. They should just made this a sequel to the dummy and been done with it. I think that would have been interesting.
Is that where I
Like
know this dummy
have
from?
Yeah.
Is it the same?
yeah, this
Okay.
dummy is like
Same
really
dummy.
popular. It's a mold or a dummy that's really popular in Hollywood. It can also
Wasn't
see
it
Jake. It
Goosebumps?
also could be seen Jacob. Yeah, it's like if you ever seen Magic with Anthony Hopkins, Slappy the dummy from Goosebumps, the Great Gabbo. It's all the same type of dummy. It's like this, uh, I don't know how to explain it, but I like how it's a gangster dummy.
Well,
Like,
actually, Little
see,
Caesar was a movie from the I think the 30s. Because like you get back to the 30s and early 40s, it was a massive amount of like gangster flicks. You had James Cagney and Edward G. Robinson. So they between the two of them, they kind of solidified that genre. And the
yeah.
puppet was kind of a bad Jimmy Cagney impersonator, but the name Little Caesar comes from an Edward G. Robinson movie. Like it was kind of it'd be like Scarface. It was like that kind of a defining gangster.
I just kept waiting for him to go
Well,
pizza, pizza.
Yeah.
well, actually, the ventriloquist in from the Batman series in Scarface are homages to this character. And
Oh,
have you guys
nice.
ever seen Have you guys ever seen Magic, the
I
Anthony
I
Hopkins
haven't.
movie?
That seems familiar, but I don't
Yeah, it's
remember.
where he's like a ventriloquist, and his dummy is like causing him to lose his mind or whatever, commit murders.
I kind of lost my mind at this movie or at this episode.
Yeah, it's another one where not really much is. I mean, it's more than last week for damn sure, but I don't know, not terribly inspiring. Just
See,
kind of
yeah, I think it's worse than last week's episode. That's where I'm gonna roll with this.
no. Well, I can't wait till we place this one.
Right.
This
Well,
is
I
gonna
mean,
be
it
fun.
can't be any lower. So,
I mean,
I
it
mean,
could be.
I
It
guess
could
we'd have
be,
to put this.
but
I mean, we got. I mean, yeah, I guess we'd have to put this like at the bottom,
I don't think it's
but
that
that's.
bad. It's not good. It's just
Right.
kind of, I don't know. There's just what, I mean, there was nothing really truly interesting about this episode until the very end when he was like, the part with the cops. That part was interesting about how he was kind of like freaking out. And he just went straight to it. He didn't even try and hide it. He went straight to talking to his fucking dummy. I'm like, how do you function in day-to-day life if you go straight to talking to this dummy like it's a living thing in front of people?
Well,
I
that's the
mean,
thing. He thought it was like the way it functioned and stuff to that point.
yeah, but he
He
had to
only
know
ever
other people didn't know that.
he who's to say he didn't though?
No,
If his
true.
mind was that far gone and stuff, I mean, dude talked
I
himself
mean,
up to, rob and do all that kind of stuff. Also, we should probably do the opening narration.
well, no, I was gonna say
Oh,
like, have you not seen Jeff Dunham? I think Jeff Dunham thinks his dummies are real.
Possibly. At
Uh,
least Peanut.
I mean,
And
to be
and
fair,
and you think about
yeah,
it though, at least and Jeff Dunham is a great example. Like, he puts some part of himself into those characters. They reflect various parts of himself. So it would make sense that going down that rabbit hole of, this character reflects something of me.
Yeah, I mean, true. Jacob, I will say that this character, this prop, can be seen at the Tower of Terror in Disney's Hollywood Studios in the queue.
Oh yeah, I saw it at Universal.
Man, that's why you need to come down. We're gonna go to the Hollywood Studios. You can see the Tower of Terror.
Just to ride the Tower of
You go
Terror.
ride it with Triv.
Hooray.
You go ride it. You go ride it with Triv, so I don't have to. Because
I remember
don't
it being a
free
good
fall
ride.
tower drops.
I'm excited.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure you're excited, Triv. You can make me
am.
ride that ride. All 13 stories of drop.
I'm pretty stoked.
Twilight Zone Tower of Terror moves
Woohoo.
forward and then drops you.
They
Yes.
kept that, but they got rid of the hell.
Yeah, we
Well,
had
I
a
mean,
whole
you go
side
ride the-
conversation about Jaws the ride.
Oh,
I
no,
will
that's
forever
Harry Potter
champion
land.
Jaws the ride. It is amazing. It should have never been gotten rid of.
Well, I mean, now you
The
can
whole
go and
experience.
ride a
In
minecart ride.
Japan. Well, they got to think they still have Jaws the ride in Japan.
Yeah.
We need to go to Japanese Universal Studios.
Yeah, we do.
Studios.
Where Godzilla. I sent this picture to Triv where it's Godzilla holding Henry Cavill, but Henry Cavill's pregnant, and
What?
it's very weird.
It's AI.
So pregnant
Let
Henry
me see if I can
Cavill
find
is
that
held
picture.
by Godzilla, like lovingly held, or like,
Yes, like
Yeah,
those
yeah.
cheesy pictures where
or is he
Yeah.
like just holding him like this?
no, like hands around pregnant belly.
Like coming from around the back.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Let me see if I can find it quick here.
I need that.
Oh, I guess he's got it.
Oh, is it? Oh,
I don't
is
know
it
if
the-
that'll open for you or not. Oh,
Okay.
it's actually a GIF apparently.
Yeah, it's not opening.
Here you go.
In the water and everything. Well, I can't see the top of Godzilla.
Oh.
He's ripped Godzilla. That's Ripzilla.
Let's see. I don't know if I can. There you go.
Why did someone make that? AI did not just make that on its own. I mean, AI made it, but I don't think it was told to make that. Someone put those parameters in there.
Right.
But look at how ripped Henry Cavill is. I mean, my God.
That's just him. He's
Fair
just
point.
ripped. Oh, it downloaded on my computer as a GIF or MP4. Whatever. Okay, I'm gonna
An
leave that
MP4.
so I'll find it in like 2 years and be like, "What's this?"
All right. Triv's pressuring us to do the opening narration so she can get in and talk about the plot. Because I'm going to make Triv talk about the plot.
What?
now.
No, I don't
She
want
did
to
a good
talk
job
about the
talking
damn plot.
You did a really good job last week. I'm just going to make that your thing every
No,
week.
I don't
I'm
want
just
to
going to sit
talk
back
about
and listen.
We got
No.
like 3 episodes left. It's okay.
It's gonna suck
That's your
though if I
thing
do
now.
it. Great.
No, it won't.
Well, I mean, when we get to the night gallery, I'm just going to make her host and I'm going to sit back and listen.
Ah, fuck's sake.
Is that what we're doing? I thought we were doing
I mean, we
Whatever
could
you
do
guys
the
wanna
80s one,
do.
but I mean, I thought we were going to go to the night gallery and then I don't know. I don't know
Okay.
what we're doing anymore.
the
Remember when we did a Sexicon list?
I was about to say I've got
Where
the
did we
Twilight Zone
stop there?
Sexicon. The last thing on the Sexicon was Gutter Snake. I don't know what it's from.
A good
I
way to
just
end
have
it.
them listed. I've got about a page and a half of them. Saki and the Puss, Crumb Bum, Jump to the Moon.
I think there was more of it then though too. Like so many of these episodes haven't had that kind of stuff. Like that's one thing about
I mean, unless
last
you
week's
count
episode. There was a
Hopeless
lot
Claude.
of random shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Cement-headed Claude.
Poop deck.
Sharp shooting Sharpie. Oh wait, season 3. I did put the distinction of season not 2. Season 1 and 2 are just like melded together, and then it says season 3. And I've got like pea green shavetail, bandy-legged buzzard, take your shine off your pants, up your piece, marshmallow. Is that what? It's not marshmallow.
All right, Jacob, do the opening narration. Triv is demanding it so she can talk about the plot.
But no.
Fuck it.
Jonathan West, ventriloquist, a master of voice manipulation, a man late of Ireland with the talent of putting words into other people's mouths. In this case, the other person is a dummy, aptly named Caesar, a small splinter with large ideas, a wooden tyrant with a mind and a voice of his own, who is about to talk Jonathan West into the Twilight Zone.
Wow.
Jonathan West, James West, Desperado, some Dotto, Bravado. How many autos can we do?
Otto,
I don't
Otto,
know.
Otto.
So
Under my umbrado. Otto,
Umbrado.
Otto.
Klimbado.
terrible trip, terrible. Okay, so why is he an unsuccessful Irish ventriloquist? I don't get
I think
that.
the Irish
Tell me, Trev,
thing
why is
was
he?
supposed to be like people were discriminating against him because of his heritage.
Well, I think
That
it's
comes
more.
up
I
later.
think it's more to show like the fact that he couldn't get a he wasn't able to get a normal job. One, because he was only in show business, and two, because he wasn't an American citizen.
He's not American.
But he's
Goddamn
Perry
legal.
White. He's the antithesis of American.
That was later.
Isn't he a legal
Uh,
immigrant? Did they have illegal immigrants back then?
Well, I think he was like in the country legally, but he hadn't done the whole like American citizenship thing.
Yeah, and he also like I don't know. Every now it's like he didn't always have the accent, but every now and then you put it on hard.
Yeah.
He'd be like talking like this, and he'd be like, "Hi, I'm Irish. I'm a leprechaun."
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I'm sure at the time and place there was probably a reason for the Irish, like the fact he was Irish, but by and large, short of it taking away from his ability to get a job, like
Yeah.
like he could have been just, a guy that came up through vaudeville and such, and that's all he knew. Like, look at the people that are YouTubers that only continue on YouTube because they don't know anything else. Like, there's that aspect. You could kind of claim that same thing there, really.
Trev says I don't know anything else because I'm only on YouTube.
Dude. Okay.
Oh my god.
Do you
He
want to
says
discuss
they
with
only
the
stay on
room?
YouTube because they don't know anything else.
Yeah, there's a lot of. Oh, I'm sorry, Nick. Forgive me for being, so rude and whatnot. I didn't consider your feelings.
Trev, your punishment instead of being off the show, you're gonna be on the show as the host from now on.
Oh God, that's a terrible idea.
That's your punishment. Yeah. What were we talking about? I literally forgot what we were talking about.
Oh no, just kind of talking through the
Trev was
plot.
bashing YouTubers. Yeah, no, Jonathan West, James West, Desperado, Manchado. He
Better
has
than
a dummy
Herbert
that
West.
yells at him. Herbert West.
Yes.
What about James West? From Wild Wild West.
Yeah. Go West, young man.
I don't know. How is this episode better than last week's episode? Like it's just very tedium. I was like checking my watch every 5 minutes.
I agree. It
It's
was
about
bad
a
that
dummy
way.
that can talk.
Yeah, it wasn't a great episode, but something happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, my boredom. My looking at Twitter. I went back to Twitter because I was so bored.
Oh my God. I mean, I will say, like the way it was
Right.
shot, there was more locations. It was,
There was
there were
something
things
going
that
on.
made you feel like the little girl. Honestly, my anger at her is that of 1,000 suns, and
Yeah, she's
yeah.
a twat.
yeah, oh God, yeah, without a doubt. Like that whole.
You guys didn't like. You didn't like last week when people were banging in the background behind the walls. That's why they were moving so much. You guys didn't like that part?
What was happening?
Yeah. They
Oh,
had to
the
find a way to
end.
move them, so you just have people banging. Yeah.
Is that just what you came
Um,
up with yourself in your head to make it interesting somewhat?
Yeah. I just could imagine all the sex and party and sexy time that was going on in the background.
Nick's like, yeah, I
As-
like
as
this
the guy's
episode.
yelling at
What
his
kind of
wife.
fucking going on?
It's a fetish.
Fine.
Right. I mean, I think the dummy is better than this episode in the simple
Oh,
fact
that's
that
not
like I
even a
think that
question.
has a better ending. But once again, this dummy tells this young girl to basically does she have poison darts? I'm like,
I
why
like
does
that.
the little girl have poison darts? Like, what is happening here? But
I did like
this
that.
this right? This dummy is
is
just
like-
an idiot.
like,
Like,
what
or
am I
not an
supposed to
idiot,
do?
but he's a
You still got them poison darts. And then it like ends.
Goes all sling blade.
Yeah. Hey, you
Right.
still got them poison darts there.
Well, okay, so you think about
Right,
toys of
poison
that
darts.
era. You look at pieces from that, like toys from that era. Like, look at Jarts. The fact
Yeah.
that you had like super, super sharp things and you
And
kind
you
of like
throw
toss
up
them in the air.
and
Yeah,
hope it
exactly.
doesn't land on you.
Yeah.
Oh God, is that was a thing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It
they
was
were like
outlawed
darts
in the
like
80s.
this big, and they were like extremely sharp, pointing at sharp. You literally they were weighted on the front, and it was a big fucking dart. It was like this big, if not bigger. You grabbed it and you just threw it in the fucking air, and then it would come spiraling down. And I think there was like a place you're supposed to
That's
try and get it to
insanity.
hit on the ground, but nobody did that.
Of course not.
It's just like you threw it
You
up
know
and
where
hope it don't kill somebody.
Yeah.
I man, we were doing some crazy shit in the 80s. I'm telling you what, man.
I think they might have been outlawed
Um,
by the 80s. Well, maybe the
No, I
70s or 80s,
remember
maybe?
them.
Oh,
Which I
okay.
mean, I was born in '79, but I don't really remember '79, so it must have been the
Right.
'80s when I was playing with them.
that'd be quite impressive if you remember 79, Jacob. That's like me remembering 82. No, you remember I grew up in the time when fucking Nickelodeon was the one that had all the toys through their game shows and shit. So they had like what was the skip it thing where like they would have the thing you put on your ankle and you would like move it
Yeah.
around. You had
Oh,
to
yeah.
skip it, and
That was
you know
fun.
kids probably broke their legs.
Remember the what
Was
was
it
the
though?
thing? What was the thing that was like? It looked like Saturn. It was like a ball, and it had the platform around it. It was like a pogo
Oh, you
stick,
you
but
stand on it and you try and hold your
yeah,
yeah.
you bounce with it. Remember
hmm
those? I had one of those. I
Actually,
don't remember
those
what
are
it's
still
called.
if you go to like physical therapy places, they have variations on that.
Well, they always had those big balls that you had to lay on because there was like a physical therapy class at my
hmm
school, and I always wanted to go jump on the ball. It probably wouldn't have gone well because there were like disabled people in there, not
Oof.
just come in like
I
wow.
mean,
I mean, you got
according to
space
South Park, if
hoppers.
you
Is that what it is? Is that
space
what they're called?
opera,
It's like a ball, and it's got like a platter around it, and
Oh
you put
no,
your
no,
feet
that's
on it
not
and
a space
squeeze it,
hopper.
and you just jump. You bounce around. What is that fucking thing called? It's got a catchy name. I don't know. What does that have to do with this episode? How did we get here?
I don't know. I mean, like creepy crawlers is a thing that I wanted, I never got. Light bright. You know, light bright's still a thing, by the way.
Oh yeah, it kind of continues to be. It's
Like
weird.
legit. Yeah. Now kids have their ye old video games and Minecrafts and
Well, so space hopper
we
is
used to
like the
have
big
fun.
balls, the big rubber balls that you kind of bounce on, but it's got like the handle thing.
Sure, is that what happens when
Oh God.
shit, big old balls you bounce on?
Yes, it's South Park all over again.
Oh,
No, not
No.
November.
I'm just saying no. No, I was just gonna mention the South Park episode where they microwave their balls to get weed. So they have like gigantic balls they bounce on each other
Oh, is that
on
what
with.
that's from?
It's pretty funny.
I thought it was No Nut November.
oh, it's just called a pogo
No,
ball.
no.
I really
Hmm.
thought it was called something else.
What were we talking about?
So we were talking the plot, and
Pogo balls.
yeah,
Oh
we got
yeah, we were
onto
talking the plot
Irish.
of this.
We were talking Irish immigration, then
Um,
we were talking about poison darts, and then we got onto all of that crazy shit. And we
oh
ended up
yeah,
with
like this
South
little kid
Park
has poison
microwaving your
darts.
balls.
Exactly. Um, so I love the simple fact. I do love the fact that like this Caesar, the dummy, is like he's an asshole to Jonathan, and he calls him like a clod and shit. It's pretty funny, but it's just like I've already seen this type of episode before. Um, and the only thing that's different is the dummy is apparently real, like or I guess is real. I don't know. He's possessed by the asshole of a human.
The asshole of a human.
I don't know. Asshole of a human. He's the
Is that on the
scourge.
poop
He's the
deck?
smelly asshole of a human. Yes.
Can we get a visual of that? What is
Can we see ghost
Uh,
poopies from
name?
the asshole of being
maybe.
possessed by the asshole of a
Goatee.
human?
His name is Goatee.
But the first half of this is just like Caesar shitting on Jonathan, telling him he's worthless, and they have a bad audition, which I love how he criticizes Jonathan for his poor audition. But it's like, well, don't you guys like? I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't like this episode. What do you guys think? I mean, it leads into the burglary or burger. I can't pronounce that word. Burglary. Words
I
that I
mean,
can't pronounce. I'm sorry.
Burgle.
can you say delicatessen?
Delicatessen.
Yay! I mean, you can see
I
that
don't know. I
his,
mean,
looking ahead at what the like, I guess what the twist is. Um, And obviously his self like the way he sees himself is so low that, it comes out in various ways. And um it does raise questions about like the fact that he does go into burglary, how he learned those skills, like how he talked himself up, because I mean he clearly knew his shit when he was doing the various robberies. So
I watched this episode like 5 minutes before we got on, and I still can't remember like half of the shit that went on in this episode.
I was gonna say it's kind of leaking out your
Was-
ear there, man.
Yeah, I have anal leakage coming out my ear.
Wouldn't that be
Um,
oral leakage?
I don't know, some kind of leakage, brain leakage.
We all think of one thing when you say the word oral.
Oral, not oral. Aural.
Morel.
Oh, okay. It's close enough to oral.
Well, lots of things are close enough to
Drink your
oral.
Ovaltine.
Drink your oral teen. A crummy
Oral.
Drink
commercial?
your anal Ovaltine.
Oh God.
Um,
I mean,
let's
you look at the
see.
way that this kind of lays out. I mean, obviously, Jonathan has been kind of kicked down a good chunk of his life because he just seems to take it. Um, and whether it's the dummy telling you, or like a boss, or a quote friend or whatever. I mean, it's kind of that same, poke them and keep, breaking them down until they do what you want to do or whatever. Because he's obviously got, Caesar obviously has plans. How he plans to do them as a dummy with, I don't know, but
I don't know I don't know what to say about this episode because it's just he's being criticized or chastised by chastised. Is
What?
that even a word?
chastised.
Chastise?
Chastised
Chastised.
by this
Castrated.
dummy. Yeah, he's being castrated too. He lost his balls to this dummy. And the little girl's an asshole and treats him like shit. And then like the only one that's on his side is the room renter or whatever.
Yeah, landlord.
And yeah, the landlord. And she's like, "You're useless. You're worthless," as Jacob alluded to earlier. And why is this how the Twilight Zone is ending? Like I'm gonna be so baffled when we talk about the Bewitching Pool. It's gonna be like the Twilight Zone was such a great series, and then we start getting this shit schlocky stuff, and it's just like I don't know. Just like when he goes and robs the nightclub, it's like of all the places he robbed, either Jonathan is an idiot or he is not very smart when he goes and robs because like he go rob anywhere else in the entire world and he goes to the nightclub and steals money from the nightclub and then somehow gets away with and then somehow gets away with it by doing a show for the security guard, which is very weird at midnight on a I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I mean, look at it. Look at the people that steal from where they work. I mean, how many times has embezzlement been a thing? Like you steal from the place that because one, they had it coming, quote unquote, or it was a case of it was a place that you could scope out and ideally speaking get away with. Like you could create the alibi of some nature that would make sense. And in theory, he could have played that through, but he kind of, went a little crazy
It didn't
when
take a lot of pushing for him to give in.
No, no, it absolutely didn't. And whether that's guilt, whether that's just I don't know.
Well, I mean, to be fair, like a lot of us will resort to stealing from our job if we're desperate. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. No, agreed.
I've never done that because I'm not that desperate, but I'm just
Right.
saying, like, you watch all these videos on YouTube about people stealing from their job because they needed money for rent or whatever, and it's like, I don't want. First of all, how is he even be able to afford this a room that he's staying in because he has no money, and
Can't. That's why I hadn't been
you
able
know,
to pay the bills.
Yeah.
oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, he paid the rent with after he ripped off the
The
whatever that
deli.
place was.
Yeah.
Yeah, the delicatessen.
I would assume too the
And
fact that he robs the nightclub because they didn't accept him for an act, it was a way to kind of get revenge.
well, it's just
Mm-hmm.
funny because like, what doesn't he go and try to get another job after that because he's doing so poorly at
He goes to
the
like an
nightclub
employment
stuff.
agency. He goes to an employment agency to try and get a different job, but because he doesn't have any essential skills, he's been in show business his whole life, and he's still working to get, citizenship, he doesn't qualify to be able to do the jobs that the guy has available. Or he won't work with him because he's not technically an American citizen.
You think this is an episode about AIDS? Not AIDS.
AIDS. What?
No, do you
Okay,
think this
let's
is
do these
like
mental
it
gymnastics
follows?
together.
This is a like. you, you think this is like it follows? It's the Caesar's kind of like a STD where he spreads from one person to the other.
I mean, to some
Um,
extent.
do
I don't
you
know if
think
that's what
Caesar
was
had a
on their
person
mind when they
before
wrote it.
Jonathan?
I don't know, in
Yeah.
my head
You
canon,
think
the
they had
dummy
STD?
is this guy.
Well, I mean, yeah, obviously. I mean, it's the same thing like with the dummy itself. It's like, in that last episode, it's the same thing where, the dummy is actually the human being and the dummy's the dummy or whatever. But, I mean, he is coerced into doing this burglary, and Susan apparently is aware that he is stealing money from them, and you can hear Caesar talking in the next room, and decides she's gonna call like a little squealer, and two detectives from I don't know Dragnet or whatever arrive and interrogate him.
It wasn't much interrogating. They're just like,
No.
"Where were you last night at midnight?" It was me. My buddy said it would do it. My wooden dummy over here, he did it all. Like, damn, dude didn't even try.
No.
Right. And then they take him away, and the dummy's like, "Hey kid, you want to go on an adventure to New York?" "I sure do, dummy that now could talk to me." I don't know, like this dramatic turn for Susan, it's just funny because what is going to happen to her? Is she going to turn into like a prostitute in New York, and when she gets older, like I mean, it's just like the implications of what
I mean, that is
the
like that.
people are doing about this girl.
That lifestyle is what happens to a lot of people that go through childhood trauma. So
Yeah. It does
Well, but
raise it does
she
it
doesn't have
does
childhood trauma. She's being
she was a
manipulated by
nightmare
a
as a child.
doll.
She does have childhood trauma. She's gonna end up on an episode of Soft White Underbelly, doing a friggin' interview with that Mark guy. She's
I
like
don't know what that is, but we'll say sure.
17-year-old prostitute
Oh, it's
and
like
drug addict.
Angel. The movie Angel,
Angel.
like she's a really good student during the day, but at night she's a prostitute. And she's like 16, but she claims that her mom is living with her and she's got a house and she pulls tricks like nobody's business.
Hey, hold on a second. Can you guys hear me through the mic?
I think
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Are you sure? Because it's not green. What the hell's going
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
When you get close to it, your voice gets all deep, like
Hold on, let me reset it. Hold
very
on.
wide. It's all right. You like the sweet, sweet, deep, sultry sounds of Nick at night.
Which it is. Two new radio name.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was
Oh,
so weird.
yeah.
Like when it.
Chicky
Shut up.
bow bow.
Poke it.
No, when
What was weird?
Nick.
Christ.
After dark.
No, but when my mic is
like reset.
when my mic isn't working,
Anyway.
it's orange, but it was orange, so I hope it's coming through, not my my
No,
up
it was
here.
clearly your mic.
I guess you guys would have said something, maybe. I don't know.
Your sultry sound hasn't changed.
Not at all. Ooh.
Nick, I think Jake is
Awesome.
licking the thing.
So weird.
That's us.
ASMR.
There's too many of you crying, brother, brother. Who's the guy that had the sultry voice that sang? Was it Isaac? Not Isaac Hayes, but it wasn't Marvin Gaye, was it? It was
Barry Manilow.
Isaac Hayes
who was
had
that?
Barry White. Isaac Hayes.
Barry White, huh? Yeah, it was Barry White. You ever watch the Simpsons episode where he sings the snakes?
I can't say that I have.
Me either. I
That's
like
good stuff.
Isaac Hayes. I want to make love to you, woman. I want to feel your insides.
Oh, good lord.
Exactly. So Caesar and me, yeah, Jonathan is basically manipulated by, I don't know if, do you guys think this doll is like real, or do you think she has the same issue of like thinking it's real, believing it? I mean,
That'd be even
is this all
worse.
possessed?
It must be. That's how I took it. Because if like she suffers from the same mental issue he does, that'd be even more contrived. I think it's just that it's a possessed or is a living doll for whatever reason, and it's
Yeah.
fucking evil.
But
I think
here's a question I have then. Like, what's that?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh no, do you think that this episode has anything to say?
I would have thought it would have been
Is
more
that
Mhm.
interesting had they left us at the end with a discussion point of was the doll alive or not, or was it all in his head? And they did not do that at all.
No.
Now, I
At
mean, there's
first,
times you can do ambiguity and too it's too much, and you're like, I wish I had gotten you know a clear beat on it. But if you do ambiguity just right, where it gives you a little bit of like, here's some proof that it is that he was alive. Here's some proof that dude was just crazy. I like those types of endings where it gives you both, and then you get to discuss it. Here is just, nah, he's possessed. That's all it was. There was no twist because it had already been telling us the whole time he's possessed. I mean, the twist would have been that he's not possessed and dude was just crazy, but that would have been a contrived twist at this point. But
yeah.
either way, that's why I think the only way to really end it would be through ambiguity of not knowing. Is he? Is he not? There's a case for both.
well, I mean, you could have ended it with him being taken away, and then like the doll kind of turns its head towards the kid, and that's the way you end the episode. But I mean, like you said, that could have left the idea of if the doll's real or not, because
Yeah.
here it's just. I mean,
He had a
the
whole
thing
fucking
about
conversation
dolls
with
and
this kid.
people is, yeah, even in this episode, you can tell that, or you can kind of insinuate the doll's real, but like it's also trying to insinuate like maybe it's all in his head and he's talking to himself like, you know,
Or or like she could have
celebrities
walked
and
up, like when she's walking out the door, instead of having audio of hearing him, she'd been like, "What?" And then walk over and just start talking to him, but like in a real childlike way, like kids, like when they have tea parties and shit. So then you still would have had the ambiguity of
Right.
whether is she just like playing, or like she could have been answering him, in that way that they do in movies where she'd be like, "What? Do I want to leave?" Well, yeah, of course I do. New York? Why do I want to go to New York? Yeah, I got my blowgun. Or shit like that. I mean, she could have done something like that and like, but done it in a childlike way. So it would have still been, we could have still been able to be like, was she really hearing him? Is the doll really alive and only she hears it, or is she just playing? It wouldn't have been contrived like, oh, she's just as nuts as him. Could have just been a kid playing.
Right.
You
Because I
know,
mean, how many of those dolls, like, whether it's them blinking, you think like China dolls and stuff, like you see it out of the corner of your eye and they blink, or they, you kind of bring in your own voice when it comes to those things too. So,
I mean, yeah,
but
it could have gone a lot of different ways, but it's like when the doll goes, "Hey, he has a poison darts," I'm like, "Oh man,
though I did like, I
kids and
mean,
their poison darts."
it wasn't a good way to end it, but like a good like the whole vibe. But I did like how the last thing said. She's just like, "Well, what am I supposed to do? You still got that poison blowgun?" Wah, wah, wah. And then it like fades to black. It's like, damn. That was funny.
like kudos for going dark.
Yeah.
And obviously this isn't the first episode to go dark in that respect, but it goes dark. Like the implications, like we talked about, that goes pretty dark, pretty damn quick.
I mean, the whole episode is dark in the simple fact that guys try to get a job as a performer, and his doll is chastising him like a jilted woman, a jilted wife, and then he like steals the money, and then he gets taken off the prison, and then the doll goes, "Hey kid, you have some bleach and some darts. We'll put the
We'll make this happen.
yeah."
Got the quick lime.
Yeah, and the kid, of
She
course, doesn't know any better, so she's gonna be
Oh, I
like, "Oh,
think
let me
she
go to New
knows
York and
100%
never."
what she knows.
Yeah, that kid was evil. She knows.
Yeah,
Well, no, I'm just saying
Damn it,
she
yeah.
doesn't know any better in the simple fact that she's gonna kill her aunt and then go and expect to get away with it. It's like I don't know how going to New York's gonna help her.
that or she'll be thrown under the bus by the dummy.
Yeah. He'll sell her off to prostitution.
Yeah. See,
Like
I
a
didn't
fucking
think like
child
him
sex
finding
trafficking ring.
even like finding the dummy like at the because it starts at at a pawn shop where he's like hawking his watch. Like even finding the
Yeah,
dummy
$5 for the
there.
watch.
Yeah, but even if
Yeah.
he's
Oh yeah,
finding
yeah.
the
That's
dummy
true.
there, like just to, change his fate or like, oh, I used to do ventriloquism, maybe I should try and get back into it and, that kind of that
That's
kind of
actually a good
curse talk.
idea.
Yeah.
It could be like something that like he picks up and like it could be cool. Like a year later, he's successful, but then the dummy's like manipulating him, and you can't tell whether the dummy or him is being manipulated. And then at the very end, like you hear the voice in the kid's head or whatever, and then
Well, he
he's like, "Go
mentions
get
the
some
guy before
Windex."
him.
Yeah.
The guy who had the dummy before him, that's where he got it from. But
Oh,
he
that's
mentioned
right.
he had a bad fate of some sorts. I don't remember.
Like he went off went off with someone's wife.
Yeah, yeah.
If there's one thing that we've learned, and we've learned pretty hard, is that all dolls are evil until they get a wife, played by Jennifer Tilly.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
she's like even more evil, so it makes them seem okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
exactly. Okay, so kid poisoned darts with dishwasher fluid or whatever. I don't know. Yeah,
Very nice.
that's Caesar and me. It's basically dummy is real, makes fun of the guy, convinces the guy to steal because the guy's a simpleton. He steals money, gets caught by said girl.
I think he's
Girl
a
goes to New
simpleton. I
York
think
and
he's like
becomes
down on
a
his luck.
prostitute in the New York scene in the 70s.
There you go.
That's when they made that TV series on HBO
Then
Max.
she went and made a porno
The Deuces.
in Texas in 1979.
I mean, yeah,
At
sure. And her name
out in the
became
country.
Debbie.
There you go. That or bat pussy.
No, her name was Maxine.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Fuck that movie. Fucking hate that
I mean,
movie.
in theory, there's a lot of fucking that goes on in that movie.
At least in X.
Yeah.
What, Maxine?
Well, that whole series.
Got all three of them, and I've only seen X and Part of Pearl.
Oh, Pearl's so good. Pearl has Superman in it as well. But anyways, anything else you guys want to talk about with this episode? Besides the fact that the guy was gonna give the guy $25 for the doll, but only $5 for the watch.
What is
Well, I do.
$25 back then?
I do kind of wonder, as Caesar was kind of goading Jonathan into doing these different things like the robberies and such, if his end goal was to move him up the chain, or if he abandoned him because he got caught and moved on to the next target. Because obviously he
No,
had
I think he had his eyes set on Susan. I think
That's
that's
fair.
where his eventual goal was.
Because if not, I don't
I
see a
think.
reason for her character. Like truly, she didn't. What did she add to it?
He wanted to pay $250 for the doll. In today's money.
Is that in today's money?
Yeah. $248.18
Wow.
in 2024.
Jesus.
So now maybe more.
I mean, it could have the Warrens could have taken that doll, put it in the little cabinet. Maybe this is the seeds for Annabelle.
There you go.
Maybe that's who Caesar needs to be. That's who Caesar needs to date.
Could be
Annabelle.
the seed.
They could be the They could be the power couple in Hollywood.
The seed of Caesar.
Yeah. Caesar.
Annabelle Caesar.
Yeah, Caesar.
Kaiser.
Little Caesar.
Little Caesar. Caesar pulls out his little Caesar.
Little
Right.
Caesar's Little Caesar.
Semen, the dummy semen.
It's splinters.
Semen dummy.
Shooting splinters. Tree sap.
Oh God.
Oh my god.
Here we go.
You're a dripper.
Sticky splinters.
Check out my walnuts.
Oh my god.
That's great. Clearly, I thought that was funny.
Breaking the bark. I mean, they could just like
getting loopy.
Grow some tree branches and have a whip.
Oh God.
All right, we need to come on, or I'm gonna
God,
start
man.
talking about penis stretchers.
Oh God. Yeah.
I'm getting loopy.
The wooden penis stretcher.
Yeah.
The Caesar and penis stretcher.
Caesar and
The penis stretcher and me.
penis stretcher and me.
Oh my god. steals money from his penis stretcher. Um.
Black leather finish.
Anyways, so oh my god. So anything else you guys want to talk about with this episode?
Not really. I don't. I mean, I think we kind of covered everything, and there really wasn't that much to speak on in the first place.
Is this going to be like the rest of the episodes that we have? Is it just going to be kind of like there's not really much to talk about here?
I honestly don't remember a lot of these.
We don't have that many episodes left.
Well, sleepover in a quiet town, stopover in a quiet town should have some stuff to talk about. The encounter, we should have a lot to talk about with that one. As infamous as that episode is.
Is that the one with George Takei?
Yeah.
There are 9 episodes left, isn't there? No, 8.
Yeah.
After this one, 8.
2, 3, 4, 7. Yeah, 8 episodes. I think we should just end the series here and never talk about Bewitching Pool.
We have to. We are
don't
finishing
want to.
this shit. We are finishing this shit.
We're finishing the shit.
Yes, we are finishing this shit. Good, bad, and indifferent.
I don't want to. I think we should do like what they did to me with Terriers and just end the series and not have any conclusion. We'll not have conclusion to the series.
I'm flying my ass all the way down to Florida. We are talking about the end of this goddamn series.
You're flying to Florida so you can ride the Tower of Terror at Universal, Triv. Don't
I mean
lie.
that as well, but if I'm going that distance, I'm gonna do it all.
Are you going the distance? Are you going for speed?
Yes.
Are you along?
I will
with
find
this
my
time of
way.
need?
I will go the distance.
He's a racing. Oh man, I don't want it. I don't want to. Okay, so Jacob, do you have anything else you want to say? Staring into space. I'm actually disappointed, Jacob. I expect you to say like something like boobs or penis stretcher or.
I thought about it. I was trying to come up with something, and then it just didn't happen. I'm tired.
That's what she said.
No, that's fair.
Trying to come up with something. and it just didn't
Jacob is
happen.
right. Jacob has been putting stacks of shit up. Okay, Jacob. With that said, let's do the closing narration. At least that's short for you. That's what she didn't say.
That's what she...
Well, so is Caesar.
Caesar salad. Caesar.
Really?
Was Caesar a
Yes.
salad dressing dude?
Maybe.
A little girl and a wooden doll. A lethal dummy in the shape of a man. But everybody knows dummies can't talk unless, of course, they learn their vocabulary in the Twilight Zone. Thank you,
I don't know
Rod.
if that does a very good job of explaining like
It does not.
no, it's
But it's
another
short.
one. Yeah, that is short. That's for sure.
That's all Jacob's worried about. He doesn't have to explain anything as long as it's short.
Yeah. No, I get you. So as far as the
Man, it is dummy.
yeah. So where do you guys think this fell with IMDb and paste?
Number 1.
IMDb?
Yes.
Say IMDb's 120, pace 140. Area.
All right, Nick.
55 and 62. I honestly don't know.
So let's see here. IMDb had this at 136.
Okay.
And it was at a 6.5, so it was right in there, the same. So there was a fair amount that had the same scores. You had Young Man's Fancy, Mute, Silent Valley, The Mirror, and The Bewitching Pool. All had 6.5. And then Paste had it at 139. And it fell between of late I think of Cliffordville and Come Wander With Me, which is one we haven't covered yet. And what it said on this one was Twilight Zone has its fair share of haunting episodes about sentient dolls wreaking bloody havoc, but Caesar and Me isn't among them. Let's see. Writer A.T. Strasfield takes the premise of Serling's seminal evil puppet episode and adds an ill-advised 1930 gangster parody element. Jackie Cooper holds his own against a ventriloquist whose puppet turns into a bad James Cagney impersonator and forces him to commit crimes, but the episode as a whole runs out of steam quickly.
It burns the wood, the wick at both ends by being boring. I think that's the problem with this episode. It's just boring. It really doesn't add anything new to the Twilight Zone, which is crazy.
Well, and like I said before, like what the companion says, there are those writers that hadn't done anything for Twilight Zone, and so they were writing stories just based on writing stories and not necessarily thinking about the fact that there's a certain cadence to a Twilight Zone episode.
Rod Serling, you've given up. Therefore,
Well, I mean, can you
go
blame
back to
him?
the Twilight Zone.
I mean, look at us trying to get through these. Can you imagine being on the opposite end of them?
I mean, he at least was being paid. We're not being
Fair.
paid.
That's fair. But we get the joy
I
of
mean,
each
we are
other's
being paid
company.
like 30 cents. I think I made 30 cents on the series. So, anyways, so that is Caesar and Me, episode 28. Let's do it. Let's go into the last portion of this podcast, that things and places and people and worlds of things. Twilight Zone ranking list, the greatest ranking list ever known by man, and wooden dolls and penis stretchers. Well, if this is worse than Sounds and Silences, it's got to be 147.
Come on.
I don't feel it.
Trev,
It
where's the
sounds
starting
stupid.
point?
I don't think this one is as it's more I don't know.
This one was more entertaining than the last one. And that's saying something. But, the last one was so milquetoast that, for me.
I was entertained by the last episode, but I wasn't on the podcast, so I can't make that choice.
Exactly. Hey Jake, we're kind of losing you on the mic
Are you?
a little bit. Like when it
How
was
about
down
now?
there below, we kind of lost you a little
I
bit.
wonder why it was
People
down there
get
below.
lost down there, buddy.
Do you have a little Caesar down there that want us to say something?
People get lost in awe. Yeah. Anywho, where's our starting point, Trev?
Well,
147.
IMDb had it at 136 and Pace had it at 139.
So around 135 to 140. So the four of us are dying. The Bard, Incredible World of Horse Ford, Still Valley, and the Fever.
Is this better than Jezebel?
No. Well, shit.
My
Jezebel
God, I
Pace-
thought Jezebel was going to be like the worst episode we ever talked about, and it ends up being better than most of these episodes.
Well, that's not saying much in this back half. For what
Is
it
it better
is,
than Queen of the Nile?
Jezebel is a lot more like there's a lot more going on. It pisses
Yeah.
me off because of what it does, but it does still do something interesting.
It has a story to tell. And
Yeah.
it tells it. There's a reason. There's even a point behind it. I mean, its execution is kind of, but there is a point behind its story, and it has something to say. This one didn't have a lot to say. It could have, but it
Is this
didn't.
better than I Am the Night Color Me Black?
No, I don't think so.
We just watched that.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
one I was on before I my power went out because of the snow, and I hated that last episode.
What was the thing on that? What was it?
There's a guy being hung because he took out
Oh,
a
yeah,
guy
yeah,
that
yeah.
was
And it turns
harassing
nighttime.
a black guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, quite honestly, I think that one had more nuance, more to say, or at least more to talk about.
See, I can't say it deserves to be as high as the one teens. Honestly, I would put like I for once am kind of in line with IMDb and Pace. I think it's in the 130s, if not the 140s.
I'm going because I'm looking at what's down here, like between 120 and there. I mean, 120 is too high, but like I think Mighty Casey's better than this. But you get like Jezebel, Cavender is coming. What's in the box? Dust. I think these are, and on down to the 30s and 40s. This section from about 127 down to I don't know, like I don't remember the Incredible World of Horace Ford.
That's a guy that's really like he tries to keep reliving his past. Like he keeps going back to the same thing. Like there's a four kids.
Oh yeah, and they beat the shit
Yeah,
out
that's
of
the
him.
one. I think Triv, you weren't on that episode. I think it's the one that
Yeah.
Alex
I-
really hates.
I'm not a fan of it either. I think it's an awful like it's just
I
it's
think
loud and
it's
obnoxious.
between 127 and 134. I'm in that area right there.
Is this worse or better than Dust?
Dust was the one with the hanging, right? And in the end, it broke.
Yeah, with no, Dust is the one with he's about to be hung, but the magic dust or whatever breaks the rope.
But yeah, the rope breaks in the end, and then there's
Yeah.
like a Mexican guy who like was drunk and ran over somebody's kid or something like that. That one was real boring too. See, that's good company between 127 and 134. All those are just really like this is the boring range. Not so boring that they're like terrible, like this is actively making me mad, but just kind of like that really didn't do much for
Whoa,
me.
is it more or less boring than the Where is Everybody?
Where is everybody? I thought it was a solid episode. Like I feel like it only got this low because, you know, over the course of time it just, got moved down the hill. Honestly, I'd put this below The Four of Us Are Dying. I'd put it at 136
That
myself.
works. I'm fine with that.
So you think this episode's worse than Mr. Dingle the Strong?
I enjoyed Mr. Dingle the
Yeah,
Strong.
I
I
was
know
gonna
I'm
say
kind of in the minority on that one.
Mr. Dingle the Strong is not a good episode, but it is an entertaining episode because it's
Yeah.
so fucking goofy and out there. Like some of the shit's so fucking out there with the aliens in the end. It's like you can't help but at least be entertained. You can be sitting there shaking your head going, "What the fuck?"
You just like the titty aliens, didn't you?
Well, yeah.
And the
But I mean,
dildo
so
head
this
in.
one for me ranges when you talk boring, like 16 millimeter Shrine to me wasn't boring. Mr. Dingle wasn't boring. Where is Everybody wasn't boring. Judgment Night, although not a great episode, had something to say. A Thing About Machines was intriguing in its own right.
That razor though.
Oh God, that was freaking hilarious. Cavender is coming. I mean, not a great episode, but Carol Burnett made it good.
I mean,
Yeah.
she made it what it was.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if "good's" the word I'd use, but yeah,
Well,
to each his
she
own.
made it. She made it. She gave it the oomph to at least do something.
Yeah,
Do you think
Like I
this
say,
episode's
acceptance
worse
award.
than What's in the Box,
which one was What's in the Box?
Which one's the Bard?
where the
The
wife
Bard
goes
was
out the window?
Shakespeare.
Oh yeah, I think you know what. I think it needs to go below that. I put it below that.
You'd put it below the Bard?
I didn't like the Bard.
I
I
didn't
mean, it's at
either.
136. Yeah, I put it above. Yeah, I like where you said under the four of us are dying. So new 136. That's
Yeah,
me. That's right.
that's
That's
my
right.
thought too.
Yeah.
Nick,
'Cause the Bard was bad.
Number 85.
What the fuck? Get up.
Oh, we're
Mute
being
me.
serious.
We're gonna
I
be
don't know,
mutinous.
whatever. No, wherever. I mean, I put it like below Sounds of Silences, but I don't have any arguments there because it's pretty low either way. So could be worse, could be better.
Yeah, and the Bard's pretty bad. I mean, the Bard was
Yeah,
boring, but
Bard is
also
pretty bad.
bad. It's not just boring; it's bad. This
yeah,
was just boring.
So what we're saying is 137 through 148 is where it gets bad.
I would say.
Yeah, I think that's where it gets like just flat out. But everything above that, above like 136, I would say like, oh, they're not good. These are bad, but there's something about it. There's something there. Jezebel,
Eh.
there's something there. Mighty Casey, not a good episode, but has entertaining moments because it's so goofy. Something. Everything under that is just bad. Though I didn't think Still Valley
Yeah,
was as bad
true.
as you guys did, but whatever.
I mean, The
You just
Fever
like
had a guy falling
the
out of a
devil book.
3-inch window.
Yeah. 4 o'clock. I Dream of Jeannie. The Gift. Black Leather Jacket. I didn't think Black Leather Jacket was as bad as everybody else either, but I didn't
Eh.
think it was good. I'm not saying I thought it was good. I just don't know if it deserves to be down here. Maybe in the 130s. But whatever. I'm not really that messed up about it.
Whatever. I'll do what I want. Whatever.
Oh God.
That's fine. So with that said, new number 136 is Caesar and Me. Number 1 is still The Eye of the Beholder. Number 148 is The Trouble with Templeton.
And
Next
121 is a piano in.
The house.
Oh my God.
He's still going.
Terrible. He's got to let off some steam from yesterday, last couple of days. So
That's for sure. I will say that was a hard thing to interrupt myself to go into the piano in.
The house.
you guys only get one an episode, so
That's right.
sons of bitches.
That's right.
Um,
The house? You sons of bitches in the house. Sorry.
yeah, peanut stretcher in the house. So next episode is season 5, episode 29, called The Jeopardy Room, directed by Richard Donner, written by Rod Serling. Stars Martin Landau, John Van Drielen, and somebody named Bob Killahan as Boris. https://www.imdb.com/name/ Go into Wikipedia and look up this episode and look at next to Bob Killahan or Robert Killahan. Look what it says as Boris. Apparently he's a robot. He's Boris
Credited
HTTP7.
Robert as Boris. Oh my god, it does. What happens if you click on it?
Oh my
I'm
god.
gonna get like a virus.
Excuse me.
Apparently this episode has the same ending and the same plot device, and similar twist ending to Payback. Interesting. So I like Payback. I think it's a good movie. Yeah. So
Mel
there you go.
Gibson movie?
So we'll look forward to that. What's up?
The Mel Gibson movie?
Yeah, crazy Mel Gibson movie.
The director's cut is better.
Yeah. It's Brian Helgeland. Anyways, we'll look forward to the Jeopardy Room. Probably not a very good episode, as we've come to learn. Triv, Jacob, you know how this works. I hate you all. I hope you guys never come back.
Oh man.
But I expect you to come back, so I don't have to come on next week, so I don't have to talk about any more episodes. But it's been fun. It's been fun to talk to you guys. So,
Yay!
yeah, exactly. Jacob, I know you have content. I know it's been a while since you've done that content, but where's that at?
YouTube. I got channels. I got the channels, the YouTube channels. Jacob Anders Reviews and Retro JKXY. Go check out the content. I'll make some more sometime.
So you got to do this. You got to do. I got channels. I got all the channels. Can you give me some of the channels?
Get your channels.
Shit. Triv, content. Potato Volume 2.
Yeah, Tater. I got Tater 2.0 up and running, new computer and everything. So officially back online. I'm working on scriptings and such. So keep an eye out for new stuff over at Trivial Theater.
Where's my video? Where's my episodes at, Triv?
I haven't I've literally been offline for a month. I will get to it when I get to it.
She hadn't even recorded mine, so don't feel bad.
I know, I'm behind as hell. As per usual, I am behind.
So what you're saying is your third wheel in this recording?
Yes, every day.
Or Jacob. See the sad face of Jacob. You see what you've done to him?
In the eyes.
This is why he
of
doesn't do
the angel.
that's why he doesn't do content anymore.
Well, I'm so sorry.
My
I
head
will,
looks like the Superman head in that trailer.
Oh my god. Holy shit. With me, I have content still on the regular. I am doing Severance right now. This podcast. I don't know what comes next. Triv is right. I don't know what happens from here to there. I should have a review for Companion coming up by this time this episode airs, so look forward to that. But with that said, we'll see you guys next week for the Jeopardy Room. But for myself, Triv, and Jacob, we'll see you guys next time in the Twilight Zone. Peace out, motherfucker.
Bye.
Caesar.